The film opens with dozens of Brazilian police officers preparing a coordinated raid. Their target is believed to be the main base of Loria, one of the most dangerous drug cartels in the region. The operation has been planned for 2 months. Leading the assault is Santiago Pope Garcia, a representative of the operations command. As the raid begins, Loria's men don't flee. They fight back hard. The shootout turns brutal. More than 10 officers are killed on the spot. Seeing the situation spiral out of control, Pope moves closer to the building and fires a grenade launcher. Inside, they find several women and teenagers. Everyone is detained and interrogated. But there's a problem. Loria is not there. His men remain defiant, even daring to threaten the police. Pope wants only one thing: information on Loria's location. If they stay silent, he threatens to kill them. Eventually, one of them breaks. He reveals that Loria is hiding deep in the jungle, along with all of his money. During the chaos, one woman manages to escape. Pope chases her, but she disappears. Instead of returning to base, Pope follows her trail to a house. The woman's name is Giovanna. She has been Pope's informant all along. She was at the raid to warn her brother, but the police arrived too soon. Giovanna begs Pope to release her brother. In exchange, she offers something far more valuable. She knows Loria's real hiding place. Every week, she is forced to deliver a car filled with cash to his safe house. She also reveals a dangerous truth. Loria has been paying off high-ranking officials, including people inside the police force. That's why he was never caught. Sometime later, Pope meets an old teammate, William Miller. They once worked together in a private military unit. Pope asks him to join a new operation to take down Loria. He needs people with elite skills and absolute trust. William agrees on one condition: they must bring in their former captain, Tom Davis. Pope finds Tom working as a struggling real estate agent since leaving the military. His life has slowly fallen apart. That afternoon, as Tom picks up his daughter to her school, Pope makes the offer: one mission, 1 year's military salary in return, and there's more. By regulation, active operatives can claim 25% of any assets recovered. Loria is believed to be hiding $75 million in cash. Tom doesn't answer right away. He says he'll think about it. After that, Pope attends a UFC fight. 2 more recruits are there, both old friends. One of them is Morales, known as Fish, a former military pilot. The last member is Ben Miller, William's younger brother, now a professional UFC fighter. After hearing the offer, both men agree to join. Not long after, Tom arrives at the match. He confirms he's in, but only as an advisor. With that, the team is complete. Soon, the 5 of them arrive in a small city in Brazil. After hours of driving inland, they leave their vehicles and begin reconnaissance. Loria's house is isolated, surrounded by forest and hills. At least 10 armed guards protect the property. His wife and son live there as well. The plan is simple. On Sundays, Loria's wife and son attend church in the city, along with half of the guards. That leaves Loria behind with a smaller security team. That moment is their window. Meanwhile, Giovanna arrives at the house while delivering the money. She secretly photographs the compound. She's risking everything to help free her brother. That night, the team drinks together at a bar. William questions how Brazilian police support would work during the operation. That's when Pope drops the truth. What if they don't report the operation at all? Loria's house is filled with cash. If they succeed, the money goes straight to them. Pope admits the entire mission is illegal. He's been paying everyone out of his own pocket. Pope explains that Loria will never be caught through official channels. Information always leaks. The next morning, Pope meets Giovanna at a market. He confirms the photos were perfect. He asks for one more favor. On the day of the operation, she must deliver an extra vehicle to Loria's house. In return, Pope offers her and her brother new passports and $10 million to start over abroad. Giovanna agrees. That afternoon, the team regroups at a port. Pope reveals a shipping container filled with military-grade equipment. Giovanna's photos confirm it. At least $35 million in cash is stored inside Loria's office. William reports that a helicopter has been secured. The price, $3 million. Everything is ready. The plan is perfect to walk away from. Tom, who initially planned to stay behind as an advisor, decides to go into the field because team need it. He gives one final briefing. There is one non-negotiable condition. Loria's family must go to church on Sunday morning. If they don't, the mission is canceled. Time 40 minutes. After that, they take a helicopter to the port and sail back to America. Sunday arrives under heavy rain. Since 3 a.m., the team has been positioned around Loria's house. That morning, Loria's wife and son leave for church, accompanied by several guards. The window is open. Shortly after, Giovanna arrives, delivering the extra van as promised. She enters, leaves without raising suspicion, and disappears. The team moves in. They enter the house from multiple directions, quietly searching each room. Several guards are caught off guard and taken down silently. 10. One guard suddenly appears, forcing them to shoot his leg. Once the house is secured, they destroy the CCTV system to erase any trace. Everything seems perfect, except for one thing. Loria is nowhere to be found. His office is empty, and no money. The mood collapses.
What the fuck?
Then Pope notices something strange. A solid wall. He breaks it open. Behind it, stacks of cash. The room explodes with laughter. They tear down more walls. Every one of them is filled with money. The entire house is a vault. They start loading cash into bags and hauling it to the van. Ben and William run back and forth until the vehicle is completely full. Still, Tom wants more. Greed takes over. He argues with Ben, refusing to stop. William and Pope side with Ben. It's time to leave. Before exiting, Pope insists on one last search for Loria. They sweep the house again, until a hidden door behind a closet opens. A secret room. Suddenly, Loria attacks and is killed instantly. William goes down and wounded. At the same moment, Loria's reinforcements rush back to the house. The team splits up and neutralizes the reinforcements with precision. This time, no witnesses are left alive. Before leaving, they set the house on fire. As they drive away, Ben is visibly shaken. The mission succeeded, but the cost in lives weighs heavily on him. At the pickup point, Giovanna and her brother have been waiting. Soon, a military helicopter arrives. All the cash is weighed. The total reaches nearly $250 million. There's too much money. Even the cargo net can't hold it all, so the rest is loaded inside the helicopter before takeoff. Fish warns them the helicopter has strict weight limits, but when the cash is left on the ground, no one can let it go. They take off anyway. Hours later, they reach the Peruvian border, the planned drop-off point for Giovanna. Before she leaves, Tom keeps pressing her. Does she know Pope's real identity? Does she know who they really are? Giovanna says no. Pope steps in. Pope keeps his promise. He gives Giovanna more money than agreed. Along with visas and passports, a new life in Australia, they separate, and the helicopter continues on. As they fly over mountains, the problem becomes obvious. The helicopter struggles to climb. The weight is killing them. Fish's fears come true near the last ridge. The engine can't gain altitude. They're forced to dump Kashmir air, nearly $50 million. Still not enough. The engines overheat. The helicopter begins to lose altitude. Fish searches desperately for a landing zone. Below them, farmland to land safely. Fish manages an emergency landing. All of them survive the deadly encounter. But the nightmare isn't over. Local villagers rush in and start collecting the fallen money. Worse, many of them are connected to the cartel. Tom and Pope attempt negotiations. Asking them not to open the bags, the locals refuse. Some are armed. Tension explodes. With no other choice, Tom orders the team to recover as much cash as possible. Meanwhile, he and Pope go to the village leader. They pay millions in compensation. They buy land, livestock, everything, money for blood. As they leave, a child tries to stop them. The village leader calms him down, but the damage is done. Tom has crossed a line. The gunfire was unnecessary.
Yeah.
That night, they camp. The money that once brought joy now feels cursed. According to the map, they must walk to days to reach the port. They cross forests, rivers, and steep cliffs. The terrain is brutal.
Pushing on me, man.
Until they reach a dead end, forced to climb using ropes. Equipment fails. They're on their own. They haul the money up bag by bag.
I am a bit of a dick, though.
That night, on a freezing mountain, they finally stop. For days, they avoided lighting a fire, but now they don't care. They burn a bag of cash to stay warm. Next day, a gunshot rings out. Ben is grazed. Pope and William move to flank the shooter. Tom spots one enemy among the rocks and kills him. Then, a single shot, a headshot. Tom dies instantly. William urges them to move, to leave before more enemies arrive. Ben snaps. They fight. Still, the journey continues. Without Tom, the money feels lighter. The sea appears in the distance. But there's one last question. Is the ship still waiting at the port? They're days late. Ben volunteers to go down first, to check the escape route and confirm the ship is still there. The rest wait above. The next morning, Ben returned and reported that their escape ship was still waiting at the port. However, the problem was that the escape route was now occupied by Lauria's troops. Most of them just teenagers. Ben had tried to find an alternative path, but there was no way through. Pop argued that the only option was to kill the troops blocking the route, so they could bring Tom's body and all the money. The rest of the team strongly opposed him. They could no longer bring themselves to kill innocent people. The only way forward was to move quietly and hide, but that meant they would have to abandon most of the money they had struggled to carry for days. But Pop refused. In the end, William managed to bring Pop back to reality. They accepted their fate and chose to give up the money in order to bring Tom's body home. Each of them took only what they could carry, while the rest of the money was buried in a hole that would soon be covered by snow. It was the most expensive grave imaginable, over $180 million buried beneath it. As night fell, they moved into the village area, slipping through dense forests and bushes to avoid detection. Ben was sent ahead to the port to prepare their escape. Not long after, a panicked teenage member of Lauria's group suddenly attacked them. Fish was ready to kill him, but Pop stopped him and subdued the boy without using a weapon. Unfortunately, the teenager had already radioed for help. The chase began. Enemy vehicles appeared one after another. Pop refused to kill anyone, choosing instead to shoot at engines and tires. Eventually, they reached the shore, where Ben arrived with a small boat to take them to the ship. Without hesitation, Fish sank their car in the middle of the ocean. In the end, everyone escaped safely. One day later, they met with one of Pop's contacts to divide the remaining money. The total came to $5.3 million, meaning each of them would receive about $1 million. They also set aside a special share for Tom's family. William surprised everyone by giving up his portion entirely, inspiring the others, including Pop. This marked the end of their journey together. They walked away with almost nothing. As they parted ways, Pop looked uneasy before leaving. William handed him a piece of paper containing the coordinates of the place where they had buried the remaining money.